Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Bill Belichick up to his old tricks. Classic Patriots. They wanted to keep me off air tonight. Forget it. I always prevail. What's up, everybody? C-Bot here with you on the mother effing smoke break. Div champs. Let's hear it one time in the chat, baby. Division champions. Your Buffalo Bills. 2 years in a row. I can get used to this, folks. Good to be with you here. Monday night, Buffalo Fanatics YouTube channel, and a live smoke break on Black Monday. And there was a lot that happened within the NFL today. And of course, a unbelievably wild weekend in football has led to this. The stage is set. Wild card weekend is right around the corner, and the Buffalo Bills are facing off against a familiar foe, the rubber match, and this time it's for all the marbles. This coming Saturday, Bills Pats prime time at One Bills Drive. You can't get any better than this, folks. When I did the predictions with you weeks ago, and I told you what I thought would happen, how the playoffs would pan out, I did think it was going to be Bills Pats in the playoffs. I didn't think we would get to it in the fashion in which we did. I didn't think that it would wind up being the 3-6 matchup. I was almost certain it was going to wind up being the Bills getting into the 4 spot, playing the Patriots at the 7. Wild weekend. Absolutely insane, including last night. Maybe one of the greatest football games I have ever watched in my life. And to think that that was going to be between the Raiders and the Chargers in the last game of the regular season, you had me fooled. It was amazing. And what a way to cap off an insane season. Obviously, it's coined as the biggest season in NFL history because of the 18 weeks. But it really has been an insane season. We've been saying it all year long. Nothing has felt normal. Everything's been all over the place. Oh, wait, that's my man Rico right there. He goes, let me just hop in real quick. I'm in the kitchen.
Listen, I'm in the kitchen. I'm cooking chicken. Listen, I'm going to try to hit you up in just a little bit. I just wanted to say what's up. Keep the show going.
I'm going to be rolling. You know, I told you to hop on. We got a lot to talk about. So
you got it. I'll be back.
Get your chicken going and get back here. All right. He thinks, look at him. He just hops right in. But that's what's going on right now. Everybody's pumped up. Rico's like, you know what? I'm making chicken, and I'm going to hop on here and say, what up, everybody? Congrats on being division champions. I'm hoping Rico is going to come around a little bit later and join me, who is going to be joining me in about 10 minutes or so. Code name is, you've seen him in the comments before. He has been around trolling a little bit, you could say, in the comments on this show in regard to Buffalo. Big Pats fan, and that is Master at Work. He is a YouTube creator for the Patriots. He is going to be joining me in about 10 minutes or so, and we are going to get right into the game of the year, and that's Bills Pats Saturday night. You look at the docket right now of playoff games, and I mean, biased aside, does it get better than Bills Patriots? I think there's a reason the NFL decided to put that in the Saturday primetime slot. And if you're like me, out of all the slots that there could have been, that to me is one of the best. I think it's perfect. For one, Saturday is great in the sense that you get the whole next day, especially if you win, of course. It's going to suck the next day if the Bills find a way to lose it. But if the Bills do win, You get all day Sunday, and there's 3 games Sunday, so you can just relax and watch a full day of football. Then, of course, you get that newly added Monday night game, which is awesome, and you do get a game before the Bills game on Saturday. But I think Saturday's perfect because you get to go to the game if you are going. If not, it's a late night regardless. You stay up, you have fun, and you can sleep in the next day and get a whole fresh slate of football. I was hearing that if it was going to be Bills Patriots, that it was going to be Monday night. Thought that was cool too, but it's essentially the same thing, except I'd rather have it on a Saturday, and that's what we got. So here we are, folks. Here we are. The season has come, and it is gone. When I listened to Al Michaels say last night that that's the end of the regular season, it really hit me like a ton of bricks. I mean, I couldn't believe that that's the reality. And, of course, you were so enthralled with that game that you forget, oh, my God, this is the last regular season game of the year, and here we are. We are left with just the playoffs, and then it's done. And we are a few short weeks away from this season being wrapped up. And it just went so fast. I feel like everything goes fast the older you get and whatever else, especially the way the world's been. Things just seem to be going crazy fast ever since the virus broke out. But I don't know, man. Something about this year felt faster than ever. It just felt like yesterday the Bills were playing the Steelers rather, and then here we are. Look, it wound up ending in what we wanted. Now, granted, you look back in hindsight, and it's tough to realize that if Josh Allen doesn't, trip over its own 2 feet in Nashville, the Buffalo Bills would be the 1 seed. The other thing I found troubling is when you look at this season and how it kind of wrapped up, it really did feel like if there was going to be a year where the Bills should and could get the 1 seed, it was this year. And they lost 5 games by 1 score. They didn't win a single game in which the game wound up ending in a single score. Every game they won, I think, was by 12 or more points, and every game that wound up finishing within 1 score, they lost. Had they just had 1, 2 of those go their way, 1 seed's theirs. That's the frustrating angle here when you look back on it. A lot of ifs, ands, and buts, but at the same time, every single team has that. Might I even ask the Indianapolis Colts? Right. I mean, you look at what could have been for the Bills. The 1 seed definitely felt like it was their year for it. But when you look around and you look back at all the insanity that happened this year, you see what happens to Indianapolis yesterday. You wind up saying to yourself, I'll take a division title, an 11-6 record, and a shot to play my in-division foe at home under the lights any day of the week. Before we get into the Bills game, let's just start at the rest of the landscape in which we will be seeing this coming weekend for the playoffs. It really is crazy. The fact that the Indianapolis Colts did not wind up making it is insane. You heard me say on here, I couldn't tell you how many times the one team I wanted to avoid was Indianapolis. The fact that they are not even in the playoffs is beyond shocking. And I understand the Bills lost to the Jaguars, but the Indianapolis Colts got their ass kicked by the Jaguars in a much, much bigger spot. That game was beyond shocking. They got destroyed, and all they had to do was win and get in. I did not ever think of a scenario where the Colts were not going to be in these playoffs, especially how hot they have been over the last month or so. They're not in. And what I'll do later on here in the show, but I'll just pull it up right now so I can show you. We'll show you what we have as far as the landscape is concerned for matchups and what's what. By now, I'm sure you've seen it, but this is what we are dealing with coming up here. We got Raiders, Bengals, sneaky good game in my opinion. Of course, the Bills, Pats, Saturday night. Chiefs wind up getting off easy with the Steelers sneaking in after that insane game last night. I think the Chiefs absolutely roll Pittsburgh there, but that's the other matchup in the AFC. And then flipping over to the NFC, to me, I think that the Rams-Cardinals game is clearly the best of the initial 3 because it's divisional, heated rivalry. It's also the Monday night game. Sneaky tough game for the Cowboys. I would not want to see the 49ers, especially after how they played yesterday. That comeback was wild. Would not be shocked to see an upset there. And then I think the Bucs get off easy here against Philly. I don't even know the health status of Jalen Hurts. And not only that, but the Bucs are just a far better team than Philadelphia. But there you go, guys. That is the road to the Super Bowl right there. And of course, if the Bills wind up getting it done, we all know where they'll wind up going, and that is Kansas City. So it's essentially what we had been talking about last week. The other scenario was the Colts and that, or the Patriots, and then the Titans. If they had the 4 seed, this is kind of a variation of that, except the way things went yesterday. Bills bump up to 3. They would get the Chiefs if they wind up winning that game. So there's the docket, and I think it's exciting stuff. All the games, in my opinion, look like they're going to be good. They're all good matchups. But for the Bills, it doesn't get any better than what we got. And that's another matchup with Bill Belichick and the Patriots to finally see who's top this year. We each had a win. Pats get 1, Bills get 1. No one could decide what game felt like it was the more realistic one. Was it the Patriots running it down the Bills' throat on Monday Night Football? Was it the Bills' offense and Josh Allen coming alive in Foxborough? We will find out Saturday night, and it's going to be very similar conditions to what it was in that Monday night loss. That's what's very, very intriguing here. So that's that. That's what's ahead of us. And I'm going to get Master at work on here in just a second. He is behind the scenes right now. I mean, I was going to get into the Jets game a little bit, but in all honesty, I mean, it was what it was. And that was just an absolute snoozer of a game, similar to the Falcons game where the Bills could just not find a way to put away an inferior opponent. We've seen that a few times throughout the year. There are signs for concern to me right now going into these playoffs on the offensive side of the ball. The defense, I have no concern whatsoever. What they are doing on D right now is extraordinary. It's beyond impressive. The defensive line is playing at an unbelievable level. They are not allowing anything to go down through them, and going into the playoffs with that momentum with this defense has me excited. The offense, on the other hand, it was unbelievably stagnant yesterday. They could not move the ball to save their life against a very weak New York Jets defense. That stretch in which the Bills could not get a first down was unbelievable. Really, really shocking, because even in the Falcons game where they couldn't string together their best game and didn't seem as if they were as incompetent on offense in that game as they were yesterday. The crazy thing here, though, and it's very similar to the Falcons game, the Bills did not play well at all on offense. Frankly, they played terrible against the Jets, in my opinion, yet they still score 27 and pretty much cover the spread. I think at the end of the day, it was 16.5, 17-ish. So just like the Falcons game, you don't play well on offense. You really don't have a collectively good game at all. You wind up winning by 2 scores. You wind up covering the spread. It's pretty remarkable stuff. So I'll put the Jets game to bed. There was never a doubt. It was just a really gross game, and you hope things get cleaned up there. But 2 straight weeks in a row where the offense is very lackluster, but the defense looks incredible. You hope the offense turns things around this coming week against the Patriots. And speaking of those Patriots, let's bring on a famous YouTube creator for those Patriots, the legend Master at Work. Master at Work, there he is. You are now watching Master at Work. There he is. What is up, my friend? And welcome to the show. How's things?
Yeah. Hey, man, I appreciate you having me on. You know, I've been watching you a lot this season. You got a hell of a voice for radio, man. You should definitely try to dabble into that.
I appreciate that, man. Hey, first question. It's funny. Before I saw you in the boards here a ways back, you caught my eye. I remember before the Patriots game, the last time the Bills played, you were kind of getting into it with some folks in the comments. I go, wait a minute. Because there was a point in time during the quarantine where I was just watching anything to do with the NFL on YouTube just to get my fix. And your videos popped up of your conspiracy videos, and I absolutely loved them. So right off the bat, my first question for you, do you have something in the works about the potential of what last night was? Because that felt like it had conspiracy theory written all over it. 27 regular season games, tied all time throughout the NFL, and last night in the one scenario where it would have been insane for it to be a tie, it comes down to the final kick in overtime. I know you had to have been getting ready for something.
I mean, if it was I don't know. As far as conspiracies go for that game, I don't really know if there's really much of conspiracy other than it should have been a tie. If it was a tie, then the conspiracies would have ran rampant, but I don't understand what the NFL gains by not having Justin Herbert in the playoffs. Because had the Chargers won that game, had the Chargers won the game, or it was a tie, you guys would have been playing Herbert this week. instead of us.
And
had we won against Miami, we would have went to Cincinnati and you guys would have played Herbert at home. So,
it's interesting. And I'll start here with you. I got to be honest. I wanted New England. I wanted to play New England. If I had to choose between the Chargers and New England, I would rather play New England simply based not only on what happened the last time the Bills and the Pats met, but if I got to face a quarterback in Mac Jones or I got to face Justin Herbert, especially after what he did last night it was absolutely remarkable what Justin Herbert was pulling off. I personally wanted to play the Pats. I listened to Tom Curran the other day. He was on NBC Sports. The Patriots media was talking about who they thought the best fit for New England in the wild card round would be. They all agreed it was Buffalo. I wanted New England. Did you guys want Buffalo in the first round here, or were you hoping you were going to wind up with a different matchup?
First off, I think it's a bad matchup for you guys because would you have rather faced Belichick a third time, or would you rather have faced Brandon Staley?
Yeah. Well, listen, Brandon Staley, the dude's got watermelon-sized balls on him. I've never seen anything like it. The guy goes for it on fourth down, zone one.
He single-handedly cost him the playoffs, not only in last night's game, but against the Texans and against the Chiefs. I think you watched that Chiefs game too, how he blew that game with calls. Me personally, and I said it, I'm not going to backtrack. I said it last week on AFC's roundtable that I would rather have faced the Bengals because the Bengals are inexperienced. This is the first time they've been in the playoffs since Marvin Lewis. They haven't won a playoff game, I think, since '93. Joe Burrow's going to have the little ips, and he didn't play last week. And I think there was also a Spygate controversy with the Bengals a couple of years ago when we got caught spying on them. And there's some bad blood between us. And I just think it would have been a better matchup because their defense isn't better. Their defense doesn't match up well against us, whereas your defense kind of matches up perfectly against Mac Jones. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. As far as Buffalo goes, I slept on it. I woke up. I'm like, I really like this matchup because we're familiar with each other. We know what happened last time we went to Buffalo. The weather's going to be in our favor again. And I've seen the way Buffalo and Josh Allen have struggled on the offensive side of the ball the last 2 weeks against Atlanta. He threw 3 picks. Yep. And even yesterday against the Jets, even though I wasn't watching it that much, your offense really didn't look that great against the Jets either. And he's been known to shrink in big games. So I actually like this matchup.
We'll round back right to what we were just speaking of. But before we do, Jeff King, the legend. Thank you so much, Jeff, for the massive super chat. And Jeff comes in saying, Patriots, don't give us none of your aggravation. We had to make the best of plans, but Saturday night's all right for a fight and get a little action in. Shout out to Sir Elton John. Live, love, and laugh often, folks. Bills forever as always. Screw Maybach and Brokeback Mountain Melon the Pats. So safe to say, Jeff's ready to roll on Saturday. I think you are, Master at Work. I am as well. And to what you're saying, listen, if I'm the Pats right now and I have the defense that you guys do, despite, it's been showing its wrinkles lately, but knowing that you have that at your disposal and what they were able to do against the Bills in those elements, you look around, and I do understand why you're comfortable with the matchup, especially the way the Bills' offense has been playing recently. I personally do think that it has to do with the weather. I think that the weather being cold has had an effect on this offense. I don't know why, but it seems like they don't seem to get things rolling when it's incredibly cold out. This coming Saturday, it's going to be around 10 degrees in Buffalo. I'm up in Rochester. It was around 20 today, and I didn't even want to walk outside. It's going to be 10 degrees colder, and the Patriots are built for this. We saw it when they played on the Monday night game. But my question to you is, since that Monday night game, the Patriots have not been who we thought they could be leading up to that game and after that. If you remember, as soon as the Pats won that game, the question was, is New England the best team in the AFC? I think they even had me believing that for a while. It's been a skid for New England recently, especially yesterday. And let's start there. What happened against Miami in a game where, New England still has a chance to win the East, it's not like there's nothing to play for. They definitely went out there to try to win the game. Miami had them basically the entire game. It was never really in play for New England. What happened yesterday? And what happened yesterday, does that have you concerned moving into Saturday?
Okay, so first of all, yesterday's game, as meaningless as it was, but like I said, if we won, we would play Cincinnati. So I guess it wasn't that meaningless. In the grand scheme of things, the run defense was horrible. Christian Barmore got hurt on the pretty much the last play, and he's a big part of what we do on the defensive side of the ball. He's a big body. Miami just ran the ball at will, just like they did against us the last 2 years. And we couldn't get a stop when we needed it. That's another thing. Mac Jones, he did not play well. I can't listen. I call it how I see it. Mac Jones hasn't really played well, other than the Jacksonville game. Which, do we really count that? I don't think so. Against Indy, he didn't play well. Against you guys, he kept us in the game. I mean, but this team is not built to come from behind. So the only way we have a chance to win, well, maybe 3 points, but if we get double-digit deficit, I think the game is pretty much over, in my opinion. Clock management has been horrible. Dante Hightower didn't play yesterday. We had a couple of players get hurt, but I don't know. I don't know how hurt they are. Damon Harris left the game early. I just feel like this team has just not been right since the Indy game. I don't know what happened. I think we went on a bye after we beat you guys.
Yep.
And this team just hasn't looked the same other than the Jacksonville game. And like I said, we're just not built to come from behind. So that's pretty much all I can say about yesterday's game. It's no excuse. Happy Flores got fired because we don't have to deal with him anymore. But other than that, man, it has a lot to do with the bro, I'm speechless, bro. Like, I wish I can give you a great explanation as to what happened yesterday.
Yeah,
but it's hard to. Other than we can't win in Miami either. That's another thing. So,
well, that is for some reason Miami is your Achilles heel. They even were when Brady was around. I mean, it's pretty crazy how that always wound up being something. I mean, it was never a guarantee for New England to beat Miami. But the weird thing about New England, and when I look at their schedule this year, when they win, they beat the shit out of you. And that's the odd thing. I mean, outside of the Bills game where no one was going to be putting up 30-plus points, I mean, that game where they really came into their own was when they smacked the Browns. And right before that, they beat the hell out of the Panthers. And then you destroy Tennessee. And I understand Tennessee was without Derrick Henry, but Tennessee was winning big games without Derrick Henry.
They're still the number one seed.
I know. I mean, exactly right. And that's why and that's why Vrabel's going to win Coach of the Year. I mean, they more than doubled up Tennessee. And then, I understand you say it's not a whole lot to hang your hat on when you beat the Jags. Jags beat the Bills. Jags beat a Colts team who had everything on the line yesterday. The Patriots, who I think have a very boring and rhythmic offense, hang 50 on Jacksonville. So the possibility is there. But you made an excellent point, and I think that is the key to this game. If New England if they go out and get an early lead, it's going to be a game. But if the Bills are able to take over in the first quarter and get up a 10-point lead or so, I don't see where New England's going to be able to come back from that. The reason the Bills lost that game against the Patriots outside of the weather on Monday night is because New England was able to get the lead and they could play their game all day. And that was just run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. When the game needs to get in Mac Jones's hands, and that's going to be when the ball is, in your possession, down multiple scores, that's where I'd be worried. What are your thoughts on Mac Jones? Look, I mean, it's his first year, and you get to the playoffs after a very down year last year. What's the expectation going into this weekend if Mac Jones needs to put the team on his back?
I don't think we win if he has to put the team on his back. He's a rookie. He's been very Jekyll and Hyde, even though he's been the best rookie this season, but he's not the reason. I mean, if we had Cam Newton at quarterback, we wouldn't be in this situation, would we? But he's a serviceable, he's like people don't want to compare him to Tom Brady. People hate that, as a matter of fact, but he's pretty much a game manager type of quarterback right now. We're working him slowly. Every week we throw something new at him. Defenses throw something new at him. And let me piggyback on the game real quick. The reason why you guys were able to beat us a second time is because I think you guys were just really pissed off. Sean McDermott had a shoe up his behind in this game. You guys went for it on pretty much every fourth down. You didn't punt one time. But is he going to have those balls when it comes to the playoff game? Like, do you think if it's like fourth and goal at the 2 and do you guys kick a field goal or do you go for it? Like, how much confidence does he have in a playoff game where if he knows if you guys don't get into the end zone or don't convert on a fourth down, that's going to fall back on him, and the momentum can shift very easily. If you remember, J.C. Jackson dropped a pick by Josh Allen that could have completely turned the entire tide of the game.
No doubt.
And like I said, Mac Jones kind of kept us in that game, but
I didn't think he had a bad day. It wasn't a great day.
As he was.
Yeah, I mean, I thought in that game, I thought that Mac Jones got a lot of undeserved criticism after that Bills game. I thought, listen, he's a rookie. It wasn't a great game. I didn't think he had a terrible game. I think Josh Allen had an MVP day. I mean, I don't think the Bills were losing that game. They went in with that mentality that they were not going to lose. The Pats kept it close throughout. Josh Allen made 3-4 unbelievable plays that, listen, that just doesn't happen every week. You can't expect it to happen this coming week. He made 3+ plays that you just go, wow. I mean, how often does that happen? Since that game against, New England for the Bills, we haven't seen that spark from Josh Allen again. So I think the elements here are huge. It's going to be absolutely freezing cold. But the other thing here is this is the first playoff game in Buffalo in front of a home crowd.
A full home crowd.
Yeah, exactly. The last time there was there, last year, I think, what was it, 7,500, something like that. I wasn't there. I'll be there this weekend, and me and 60,000 others who haven't experienced this yet. I think that plays a role. But then again, I think about that Monday nighter. I was there, and that environment was next level. And the Bills losing that game was very shocking to me because despite having every opportunity they could have possibly been given by New England to get back into that game and win in front of that home crowd in a very similar spot to Saturday night, they didn't get it done. I look at this Saturday night, I equate it more to that Monday night game than I do against the Pats a few weeks ago, just because the weather was, it was serviceable. It wasn't 10 degrees. I also don't know, though, and this is my question to you moving into Saturday, the strategy that won the game for you guys in that Monday night game, you can't do it again because obviously the book is out. You can't throw the ball 3 times this coming weekend, but I'm sure the attempts for Mac Jones will be quite low. What do you think the strategy is going into this game, knowing you can't do the same thing that won it for you, and you also can't do the same things that you tried against the Bills that wound up losing it for you, especially when you look at this game and it's a similar environment to what it was when the Patriots only threw the ball 3 times?
I mean, we do have to establish the run. If we can't establish the run, then we're going to have to put the ball on Mac's shoulders, which, like I said, I mean, like he didn't play well in the second game, but he kept us in the game. Yeah. I don't think that kind of style is going to win you a playoff game, but it really comes down to our defense, to be honest with you, because the one thing that's frustrating about playing Josh Allen, and I think a lot of people can admit to this, is that he makes plays when they break down, meaning it's easy to play a quarterback that's just in the pocket or a quarterback that's just mobile. He doesn't have an arm. Yeah. Josh Allen's a dual threat quarterback. I've never seen nothing like him in a long time. Maybe Mahomes, but Mahomes is not as mobile and can't truck you. Mm-hmm. Josh Allen, like I said, he makes water out of like he makes wine out of water, bro. Like I don't know what else to tell you. Like Josh Allen is that dude, man. He's elite. The thing about Josh Allen that he has to convince me is that he can go on a run in the playoffs, because I remember your playoff run. Did he play that great again the wild card round against the Colts? I mean, he didn't play well against the Ravens, and he
won that game against the Colts. He singled.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I'll give you
but
this.
The Ravens game.
I'll give you this Ravens game. Listen, there was no offense to be found. If Teron Johnson doesn't take that one to the house, I don't know what happens. I hear you. There's been a very
and the Chiefs game too, right? The Chiefs playoff game. I mean, we saw what happened.
Well, and my problem with the Chiefs game is The Bills, in my opinion, that game could have scored 50 points, and the Chiefs were going to score 55. The defense had no answer. They didn't touch Mahomes all game. They went out and fixed things this year to more compete with that style in Kansas City. But I hear you. I think the point you're getting at is you never know what you're going to get from Josh Allen. It's either going to be a God performance or it's going to be something that makes you want to vomit. I get that. We haven't seen a consistent run, and I think this is what you're getting at, a consistent run in the playoffs where every game was MVP caliber. And as we know, in the playoffs here, if you want to go the distance, you're going to have your $250 million guy go off each game. So to me, I think the one thing that we'll see this Saturday out of Josh Allen that they did not do against New England in the Monday night game is run him. The playoffs are here, which means you're not conserving Josh Allen's body for the sake of health. You're doing whatever you can do to win the game. They didn't run Allen worth a damn against New England, and this fan base was up in arms about it. And to me, it was a big reason why they couldn't move the ball, because they don't have a run game outside of Allen. I mean, recently they do, which is odd. I don't know where this is coming from all of a sudden. But Allen's their best rusher. They did not do that against New England. I have to wonder, it's weird to think about it now, but did they conserve certain elements of their game against New England in anticipation for something like this? I'm not sure. But one thing I do know, I'd be absolutely shocked if Josh Allen does not have 8 to 10 plus rush attempts against New England. Is that something that's awfully concerning for you coming into this, despite having a decent D, knowing recently you guys have not done well defending the run?
Yeah, so that's a huge problem, is that when plays break down and we have everybody covered in man, or there's really nobody open on the offense side of the ball, and we have everybody locked up in a corner. That's the problem with us. Like, running quarterbacks, they tend to just, okay, well, nobody's open, I'm just going to run it. And our linebackers aren't fast enough anymore. Dante Hightower's not as fast as he used to be. Our linebacking core is very, very slow. We don't have a very fast defense. And that's how you beat us in the last game with Isaiah McKenzie on his slant patterns, which was just killing us. I mean, we just couldn't stop it.
Dude, nobody in the world saw
our defense is very good at locking receivers up at the line of scrimmage. But once the play extends for longer than 5-10 seconds, that's when things can get really bad for us. And especially with a quarterback like Josh Allen, he can extend the play. That's what we have trouble at. And the thing is, you don't have a great running attack. We don't have a great run defense. So I think that kind of cancels itself out. It kind of depends on what the strategy is for you guys. Yeah. As far as, like, if you're playing from behind, then we already know what's going to happen, right? Sure. Josh Allen's going to be airing the ball out. If you guys get a lead, the question is if you guys run it with Singletary and who's the other running back you got?
Singletary, Moss, and Breida, but it's mostly
exactly. So if that happens, then if we can't stop the run, then that's why I said the game is over, because we can't stop the run even when we know the other team is running. You know what I mean? It pretty much depends on how aggressive the Bills are going to be in this game. It's a playoff game. This isn't a regular season game. Right. Like, you're not trying to score style points. You're trying to win the game. Yeah. It doesn't matter how you win. It just matters if you win. So the question is, how is McDermott and Daboll going to strategize depending on how the game is shifting? You understand what I'm saying?
And they had a really tough time doing that in the Monday night game. There was no coaching adjustments, in my opinion. They did not prepare for the weather the way that Belichick did, and that wound up being a massive difference. They could not get a game plan in place to adjust to those elements. Where Belichick came, he had one idea in mind, and that was all he was going to stick to. I mean, even when the run game, because the run game early on for the Patriots in that Monday night game was not working. They popped that one off, and that broke the game open. But it wasn't like the Patriots were running the ball every down the Bills' throat. They had chunk plays that would happen every now and then that really wound up making a difference.
Well, we ran it like 40, 50 times. I mean, we literally only passed the ball 3 times and 2 completions. So, if you can't stop the run consistently, we just needed one to pop, and the Damon Harris one popped it, and Stevenson popped a couple of 2 for first downs. That's true. We just managed the game just perfectly. We just pretty much dared Josh Allen to throw in the wind. And lo and behold, had he saw, I think, was it Beasley cutting
Mm-hmm.
Was it Beasley? He had Beasley pretty much wide open, or was it? I think it was because he tried to throw to Diggs, and the ball got batted down. Or because if he would have cut to the outside, Beasley was wide open, and you guys would have won.
My issue with that game is, in my opinion, they did not utilize a weapon that almost nobody in the league has, and that's a guy who can throw the ball in 25-mile-an-hour winds. They were trying to win in a way that they can't win in. That's running the ball. They didn't realize till late that Allen should be, throwing the ball more often. I think if that, and somebody made a good point in here earlier, it's going to be freezing cold, but the wind isn't going to be like it was in that game. But I still think when a game is cold, it affects the throw. It affects throwing. I don't care if the wind is insane or if it's mild. I think in a colder game, you're going to try to win through the ground. I think New England's going to try to do that regardless. But recently, Singletary has been playing very, very well on the ground. At the point in time in which the Bills faced you on Monday night, that was not the case. That, to me, as a Bills fan, has me a bit more confident about the ability to run going into this game than it was back then. For you guys going into Saturday, if I had to ask you, give me one thing that happens in this game in order for the New England Patriots to win, what comes to mind first for you? What's the one thing that has to happen for New England in order for them to get a chance to win this game on Saturday?
Josh Allen has to throw us the ball. Josh Allen has to turn the ball over.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I think whoever wins the turnover battle is going to win this game. I really believe that if Josh Allen makes a couple of mistakes, and we saw it the last game, there was the J.C. Jackson one. Like, J.C. Jackson picks that off 9 times out of 10. You know what I mean? If something like that happens, and we don't squander the opportunity, I think you guys are in trouble. If Josh Allen goes out there and plays recklessly and not smart football, because I mean, Josh Allen's an elite quarterback, but he goes out there a lot of times and just plays recklessly and just, he just slings it up there. He's a gunslinger. He's like Brett Favre. So if that happens and we can create turnovers, I think you guys lose. If Josh Allen plays a clean football game and is smart with the ball and not always trying to hit the home run unless it's open or it's a sign of desperation where you guys have to make a play like that, then I don't think you guys can beat us, to be honest with you.
Jeff King back in again. This one's for you, Master at Work. He says, Master at Work, I appreciate and respect you coming on here, but this game is ours, says Jeff King. It's ours. He's doubled down on how to live, love, and laughed often. Go Bills. Bills forever. Jeff.
Now, let me respond to that real quick. I want to respond to Bills fans. You have to win this game. I don't think you understand the pressure. Not only that your team is on, but your fan base, because you're back-to-back AFC East champions. Now I got to give it to you because I called you Mickey Mouse champions last year because
Sure.
I got to give it to you now. You won it back-to-back. You deserve the division this season. But how much is that division going to matter if you go one and done against the team that's been dominating you for the past 20 years?
Not at all. That's why this
I think this might be. I know the younger generation Bills fans don't remember the 4 Super Bowl losses, and I know you guys don't want to bring it up, but the younger generation doesn't remember the Music City Miracle and stuff like that. This loss is probably going to be the hardest of the Bills fandom for the newer generation, because last year nobody expected you to beat the Chiefs. You were an underdog. Now you're the favorite. How are you going to deal with being the favorite in a game of this magnitude where everyone is watching? You understand what I'm saying?
You make a hell of a point. Because, one, the division will not matter in the slightest, to your point. Nobody will give an absolute damn about the division if the Bills lose this game this weekend. 2, to me, it's all been about officially passing the torch from Patriots to Buffalo. Last year did not do that for me at all. Like you said, you called it Mickey Mouse. I won't call it that, but what I will call it is a year where the Patriots were down more than any other team in regard to opt-outs. They had Cam Newton starting. If a couple games went their way, including the Buffalo game where Cam Newton fumbles, including the game against Seattle where they miss a touchdown at the 1-yard line, New England's a playoff team last year. So it's not like New England was down in the dumps. It was to me more of one. In that game against the Bills, the original time, it should have went New England's way. The second game, it felt like the season was over for New England. The Bills took it to you. The monkey was off the back. But I didn't look at that as the passing of the torch. This season, You guys best us on Monday night. We win the game the following matchup. To me, it still hasn't felt like it's been a true transition from bottom to top.
Mm-hmm.
This game 100% draws the line in the sand, in my opinion. The Bills win it. They have officially solidified themselves as top dog in the AFC East until the Patriots can prove otherwise. If the Patriots win it, we learn that Buffalo, at the biggest moment of possible in a division game against the team who you mentioned and we all know has run this franchise, the Buffalo Bills franchise, for 2 decades. We learn in the biggest moment, we could not pass that team. We could not reach that feat. And ultimately, the Bills are not the kings of the AFC East. I like how you bring that up because I think it's a lot that goes into it that people are not talking about. This is it. The amount of, I don't know if bragging rights, for lack of a better term, that goes into this, the amount of clout that each team will acquire within that division is monstrous. And for you guys, what that does for the Patriots, knowing that just a year ago you were down and out like that, the Bills had become a team that everybody thought was going to go to the Super Bowl after losing Brady, to be able to knock off Buffalo in Buffalo with a rookie quarterback, that gives the Patriots all the confidence in the world. The more you talk about it, the more you lay out the different elements of the game, the more you realize how unbelievably massive it is, outside of the fact that it is a playoff game. Yes, of course. But when you look at what goes into this rivalry, you really cannot stress enough how big of a game this is.
We've only played one time, and I can't even remember the year. I think we were like the Boston Patriots, right? It was back in the AFL days. I don't even remember. I think that's what it was, right?
When the last time the Bills beat New England before Mac Jones?
In the playoffs. No, in the playoffs.
Oh, in the playoffs. Yeah.
We've beaten you. I think it was like in 1960 or something like that.
Oh, we're getting a little call out from Silas, my man, coming in. He's saying this guy.
I know this guy from Twitter.
He goes, so cocky after the win bowl. He sounds really humble now. How much better have our linebackers defended the run after the Pats game? He's calling an 11-point dub for the Bills. What say you, Master at Work? He says you were a little cocky online after that game.
Yeah, I prank called the Bills radio station, the local one you guys have there, and I prank called them. Listen, this is why I like this matchup too. The seedings, because Bills are the 3rd seed, right?
Yeah.
So you guys, when you go to Kansas City, we win. We play the Titans.
I know.
You know how a crazy road, like we get our toughest game away, because I'm not afraid of the Titans at all.
Neither am I right now.
Like, we beat them already. I'm not afraid of them at all. They almost lost to Houston yesterday. So we get our toughest game out of the way early in the playoffs, and pretty much our run goes to the AFC Championship game. Like, I think we're in the AFC Championship game if we win this game, because we go to Tennessee. You guys got a little tougher road here.
No doubt.
I mean, how much was winning the division and getting a playoff game at home really worth when you got to go to Kansas City the next week?
Well, you want to know what? I really think it was Indianapolis losing yesterday that threw things for a total roll. The Bills were not going to be the way that I had looked at things going down the stretch here. It seemed like the Bills were going to be locked up for the 4 spot. A lot of wild stuff happened over the weekend for the Bills to jump to 3. And there was very few scenarios when I went through it where the Bills would play the Patriots and the 3-6 spot. It was always the 4-7 spot the way that I had gone through it. So you're right. I, without a shadow of a doubt, would not be shocked in the slightest if the Patriots made the AFC Championship if they beat the Bills.
Yeah, if we beat
100%. Now, for me, yes, it is a tougher road to have to play Kansas City compared to Tennessee. I believe that. But the way the Bills played Kansas City earlier in the year, and I understand Kansas City was down during that moment, to me, at least I know, and I'm confident in this, if the Bills make it to Arrowhead, it won't be what it was last year. I don't know if they wind up beating them twice in a year. That's a tough task, but that's going to be a hell of a game. And, you know, I look at the Tennessee matchup, and Tennessee played the Bills way tougher than Kansas City did. We're pretty damn awful at stopping the run. At least we were, earlier in the year. And Derrick Henry, listen, he destroyed us in that game, and he's coming back. So I'll be 100% honest with you. Gun to my head, I would rather play Kansas City, I think.
If Josh Allen gets that quarterback sneak, you guys are the 1 seed.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was talking about at the top of the show. When
you guys get to buy in 2 home playoff games to get to the Super Bowl. Let me ask you a question, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to know this. Is it Super Bowl or bust for you guys? Because I think it is. Because you went to the AFC Championship game last year. I mean, at least get to a Super Bowl, right? It's Super Bowl appearance or bust. Because Super Bowl, we already know. You don't know who you're going to play. It could be Brady. It could be Rodgers. But is it Super Bowl appearance or bust?
Listen, this is really tough for me to answer. You're talking to somebody who went 17 years without seeing a playoff game. You're talking to somebody who all I knew was misery when it came to being a Bills fan. I've only experienced what you and the rest of Patriots fans were able to experience for a full 2 decades, and that's success. That's winning the division, getting into the playoffs, winning playoff games, making the AFC Championship. It's really tough for me in any scenario to say Super Bowl or bust. But the one thing that makes me want to say that is the fact that Josh Allen is going to wind up taking a massive, massive cut of this team's cap. And when that happens, we all know a team's chances of getting to the Super Bowl diminish when you don't have enough money to pay the rest of the squad. It's going to happen to Kansas City here soon. It's happened to essentially every team that's ever had an incredibly elite quarterback. And as we know with the Patriots, Brady never wound up setting the market, so it never really happened in New England. The thing for me here is the window right now is as open as it's going to be, in my opinion, during Josh Allen's career. Because right now you have the best weaponry that you could possibly imagine. You have the number 1 defense in the league right now. And you have Josh Allen under his contract where he's currently not making the second most money in the league. Super Bowl or bust is always going to be very tough for me to say out loud. But I will say, when it comes to the opportunity to do it, I don't think it's going to get better than what we got right now.
Mm-hmm. I agree. You know I agree. I think, especially with how much parity there is, especially in the AFC conference this year, where I wouldn't be surprised unless the Steelers or the Raiders make the Super Bowl. I think that the favorites right now should be Kansas City and Buffalo, which is why we're playing with house money, because nobody's going to expect it. No one's expecting, especially the way we looked yesterday and the way we've looked a couple games, that nobody's expecting us to go out there and go on this crazy Super Bowl run. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Question for you here, Master, and it's John, my boy John, coming in with a super chat, and he wants to know why you feel so confident when the Bills have a top 5 offense and the best D in the league. What has you confident? I haven't gotten the vibe from you that you're overly confident, but I can tell you have confidence. What gives you that confidence going into this game?
What gives me confidence? One, I'm a Patriots fan, right? So I'm used to winning in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's 1. 2, bro, come on. Your defense is what? I mean, who have you really played this season? You know what I mean? Like, we beat you already. We beat you in Buffalo. That gives me. If you guys had swept us and we were going into this game, that's a different story. You know what I mean? We already beat you. We know how to beat y'all. What's up, Rico?
Rico's like, let him finish. Let him finish. I'll say my piece. He's like,
Yo. Rico caught me off guard, man.
Yeah, I wanted to do that. He's work. He's like, we're gonna win because of this and this, and I'm confident because of this. And Rico's like, go ahead, man. Go ahead, say what you gotta say. No, but
Rico, what you gotta say, Rico?
I'm hearing you out. I think you get a lot of flack from a lot of folks, but you deserve the flack. I mean, you bumped your gums heavy, but you've calmed down. I don't know what has gotten into you, but you've calmed down. Maybe Patriots have kind of looked, kind of back to what they're supposed to be from last year. Here's one thing I gotta say though, because you are acting not as confident. Because I follow you. We chat here and there, and I have a feeling. I think you're more shook than confident when you facing the Bills this time around. I know you want to talk about, but we came into Buffalo. Everyone and their mama knows when y'all came into Buffalo, that was not a game for anybody to play. Golly, the Jaguars, you put the Jaguars up against, the Chiefs that day. The Jaguars got an opportunity. They got a chance. You feel me? So at the end of the day, I don't think you're as confident as you portray yourself to be. I think you should.
No, There's a difference, Rico. I'm on your guys' platform, right? So I'm respectable. But you damn well know when I get on my channel and on the round table, that I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk. Unfiltered. I'm being respectable right now. I want you guys to think that you guys have this in the bag.
So this is
just so we can pull the rug out from under you on Saturday.
So Master at Work's playing 4D chess. He's coming in here giving us pseudo confidence. Is that what I'm hearing?
Hey, listen. You guys, listen. The reason why I probably don't sound so confident, it has nothing to do with the Bills. I mean, because you look trash against the Jets, you look trash against the Falcons. It has everything to do with the way we've been playing, right? If we have been playing up to par against Indianapolis, against Miami, then it'll be a different story. I'll be way more confident, but we just haven't looked the way we looked during that 7-game stretch. So either we're going to blow you. Well, I don't know we're going to blow you out, but either we're going to dominate you or we're going to get our butts kicked. That's just how I see it. Like, I need this Patriots team to show up the way they did during that 7-game stretch.
I got to ask you, hold on, Rico. I got to ask you, because I'm clipping this first of all, because this is 100% going to be making the rounds. You know this. You know how content works, Masters at Work. You're telling me blowout. My question to you, how in the hell do you expect this Patriots team to put up enough points against this Bills offense to ring a blowout? What's a blowout in your mind, and how is that even remotely possible to achieve?
A blowout is possible because Josh Allen loves to turn the ball over. He loves it. So I think if we get enough turnover, I think we're going to pick off Josh Allen at least 2 times in this game. Really? Maybe even a fumble. I think that's how the game gets out of hand. Where if we're up 10, 14 points,
are you about to pick him off?
And that's if we get the ball back and then we run the clock. I think that's a blowout.
Your boy Mac doesn't mind turning the ball over either.
Hold on.
I agree. He has been turning the ball over lately, but that has a lot to do with receivers not running routes correctly. We don't have the weapons that you guys do, so we're limited with what we can do with Mac Jones. But you listen, when that Mac 10 comes out on Saturday, when that Glizzy comes out, he's gonna be spraying those bullets.
Listen, the only thing that Glizzy gonna be spraying is you putting ketchup on that Glizzy, because Macaroni Jones ain't gonna do nothing. It's gonna be macaroni cheese and the chicken strips. That's what it's gonna be when it comes Saturday. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Now I gotta say this. I'm talking about, you think this is Tua turn the ball over? No, sir. Say Tua turn the ball over. He just did y'all in, actually. He
didn't do anything in that game.
I'm just saying.
They just ran the ball at will.
They took it to you in the behind the shed, and they did the Glizzy. Okay, let me now bring it back.
Hey, wait, Rico. You guys should be thanking us for losing that game, and it's not because of the reason you think. You should be thanking us because I think Belichick purposely threw that game to give the Dolphins enough confidence to give them enough confidence for Tua, so they don't have to bring Deshaun Watson and fire Brian Flores the next day. So we just did the division a favor.
Brian Flores, no way.
So we just did the division a favor.
Yo, Tyson's stupid. Yo, listen, hold on. So I'm looking at last game. Josh Allen threw for 300 yards, 3 TDs, 0 interceptions, 0 sacks. And we were relatively, we had some people we were missing. You were missing some people the first game. This game, different story, and really showed out. Macaroni Jones, 14 for 32, 145. What in Sam Hill do you feel that he's going to do different? You know what I'm saying? This coming Saturday, when it's playoffs. Yeah, when it's playoffs, and this not you don't have another chance. You know what I'm saying? Rookies are going to crumble. You know what I'm saying? McDermott's coming after that ass. Boy, you better stop it, Master at Work.
We're gonna go on a run, just like the Jets winning on the run with Mark Sanchez. He's our Mark Sanchez. Okay, we got the Rex Ryan defense, and he's our Mark Sanchez for right now. 7 years down the road, he'll be Tom Brady. You know, we'll get our Randy Moss or Jamar Chase. You know what I mean? Right now, we just need him to be Mark Sanchez. And nobody expected the Jets to go on those playoff runs. I think we're built just like the Jets. Solid defense,
I want to know,
and a quarterback that was accurate.
How far of the mighty have fallen where you're comparing the Patriots to this Mark Sanchez-led Jets? What is going on in Boston? Oh, my God. Hey, Rico, I like this point that John made up back here. I want to get to this. He's going, Rico says big facts. New England fans are basing all their confidence on the games without Allen for these Patriots. And that's key. Master at work. Do you factor that in? Is it so hard to get rid of the fact that the Bills were owned by New England for so long, but things have changed now with Allen? Or
the Tom Brady era is dead to me. Okay. It's dead. I don't look at this Patriots team and compare them to those other Patriots teams that went on runs. Now, we do, as Patriots fans, we compare it to the early 2000 Patriots because, I mean, that's what we know. That's the only thing we can really compare it to. But I completely separate this team from past teams other than we have Bill Belichick at the coach. Belichick's still a coach. At the end of the day, people aren't talking enough about him being the coach of this football team. That's the one constant is that if he can out-coach McDermott, you guys are in trouble.
Silas wants that ass, by the way, Master Work. He's coming for you. He's pissed you blocked him on Twitter. He wants you, bro.
I don't even remember, bro. I blocked so many Bills fans, bro. I've been blocked by Bills fans too.
Bills fans come for you, and then when you clap back or back and forth, and then they get mad when people get blocked.
No, see what happened was a lot of Bills fans blocked me after that game when we beat you in Buffalo. I got the receipts. I got all the usernames. And then Bills fans didn't say nothing to me for a few weeks. And then you guys beat us. And then all those people that blocked me ended up unblocking me just to talk crap. So I had to block them. You know how the game goes.
I know how the game goes. Answer me this. Here's a real question, though. I was listening to the I Am Athlete pod today. It was actually fire. And there was some chat on New England. And as a Patriots fan, you probably have some allegiance to, you have some allegiance to your team, but is it Brady or is it Belichick? Is it too soon to say?
I hate that question.
I know, but it's a fair question. No, still.
It's 50-50, and I'm going to maintain that till the day I die. It's 50-50, man. Belichick's 50%, Brady's 50%.
All right,
Belichick's already proven this year that he hasn't lost it or that he regained it. Like last year, I don't count last season. This season, had we missed the playoffs and Mac Jones looked like crap, and our weapons that we spent over $100 million on didn't pan out like Judon, like Hunter Henry and Kendrick Bourne, if those pieces didn't look the way they've been looking this season, which is really good, then I would be like, okay, well then maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was way more Brady. But Brady went to a stacked roster. Brady, y'all be drinking that Brady Kool-Aid. I'm not drinking a Brady Kool-Aid no more. Even though you look at his numbers this year, he's the MVP in my opinion. But when it comes to Brady Belichick, man, I'm still giving him 50-50.
All right. So how much pressure? And Zach, I'm gonna defer after to you, man. How much pressure is on Bill Belichick? Honestly, because Brady's already got one, right? You know what I'm saying? When the both of them are separated now. This year, y'all put some things together. Y'all put a whole lot of money into that defense. How much pressure is on Belichick, especially he's a defensive coach?
It's a lot of pressure, but I don't think it's pressure to actually win a Super. Bro, listen, we're underdogs, man. You got to understand, like we got a rookie quarterback. No one's expecting us. Maybe a few weeks ago they were, but nobody's expecting us to go out here and go on this crazy run and win a Super Bowl because it's never been done before. Like I said, we're playing with house money right now. But I do think before Belichick retires, he has to win a Super Bowl. I do agree with you on that.
How many years do you think he's got left?
How many more years does he have left?
Yeah,
he has 3 years. If he wins 10 games the next three years, he passes Don Shula's all-time record. He wants to pass Don Shula.
Great, pass Don Shula all you want, but is he winning a championship? Because the last time I checked, Buffalo's got 17, and 17 is a young kid. He's gonna be around for a while. You know what I'm saying? Zach Wilson, who knows what the hell Zach Wilson's going to be, and who the hell knows what Tua.
Not 17.
Not 7. But 17 is going to be there for a while. And I don't know, man. You better.
Until I see 17 host of Lombardi, I'm not worried about 17.
Your wish has come true, my brother. It's happening this year, baby. You better watch out.
I mean, y'all can live in y'all delusions all you want, but until I see him hoist that Lombardi trophy, I'm not buying into I like Josh Allen. I'm not buying into the hype of him being this great changer of a franchise that can win you multiple Super Bowls until I see it. So
Yeah,
Win
we
a
gotta
Super
remember
Bowl,
the
guys. Win a Super
expectation.
Bowl. Listen, you guys aren't anywhere near our level as far as legacy wise.
But
You
nobody
know what I
ever
mean? Like,
will be.
we
That's
don't
the
ever
thing.
have to
That's
win
what we
another
hate.
Super Bowl again. We can go through a 30-year drought and I can die happy.
That's the problem with you guys, though. That's the problem. You use that card because no one's ever going to be
It's a
New
trump
England.
card.
That's the thing. You got to remember, for us, a franchise alterer is what we already have seen. 4 playoffs out of 5 years under Sean McDermott and Josh Allen, MVP candidate. I had to watch JP Lossman, Trent Edwards, EJ Manuel, Jeff Toole, you name it. So that to me is the biggest difference here, because for New England, even if the Bills won a Super Bowl, you would come on here and say, well, let me know when you win 6. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. For us, though, I swear to God, the way you are satisfied, and you should be, you said you could die happy, man. You're damn right you should be able to. If the Bills even made a Super Bowl in my lifetime, man, I think I could probably pass. Honestly, that's where I'm at.
No, because then you have the stink of 0-5. I see somebody in the comments saying I'm living in the past. How am I living in the past when in present time we're in the playoffs? We have a chance to knock you out and continue this dominant run. Like, that's present time. Be living in the past is like the Cowboys. The Cowboys haven't even went to the NFC Championship game in 25 years. We won a Super Bowl like 3 years ago. So let's not act like our rings are dusty and you know what I mean?
Hold on. Where's your advantage this game, this upcoming game? Where's your advantage over the Bills? I'm curious.
Obviously, our run game. I think we can run the ball just like the advantages we had the first game. We have the weather. That's our advantage. You're the one who started the build a dome movement, Mr. Buffalo fanatic.
Man, I'm not about that.
I mean, listen, bro. Like, y'all are Buffalo. Y'all are really want to dome that bad because now the offense is built more of an air raid. Like you guys have a perfect team for the dome. You like I said, you guys remind me of the Peyton Manning with Endrin James and Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne. That and Josh Allen would be Peyton Manning in this situation. You guys are built like those Colts teams, but just like those Colts teams, you guys are soft. You're built like cottonelle tissue. You're a soft football team, and I will continue to say that until you prove me otherwise.
I mean,
master of word. Listen, John wants to know. John here wants to know, though. You got all this confidence. You think you're going to go on an historic run. Why the hell can't you beat Tua Tagovailoa yesterday? That's the question.
I don't listen. I already gave you my conspiracy. We just certified that Deshaun Watson is not going to become a Miami Dolphin. We don't want that man in our division. We want to stick with Tua. I don't care if we lose to Tua every single game from every single time. Okay, Miami's never ever going to go nowhere. They got to hire a new coach, and now they're rebuilding. Well, listen, the way we can't beat Tua is the same way y'all can't beat Brady. You know what I mean?
We ain't playing Brady. We're playing Macaroni Jones, man. You know that. Macaroni Jones.
That's Mac 10. That's MJ 10, man. Put some respect on my man's name.
What's your thoughts on MJ 10?
Last time I tried to put respect on your man's name, my man went.
What's my thoughts on what?
145 yards.
On your boy Mac 10 there. Like, you say you're putting Brady in the past, whatever. That's fine. All I can think of, though, is if I'm you and I had Brady for that long, and now I'm watching who you call Mac 10. How can you have that confidence after what you knew you had before that? That's where I'm at with it. Like, to me, it's got to be
because Brady looked like Mac Jones his first 3 seasons. The fourth season, when we won our third Super Bowl, he started to get into his own. Brady, if you look back at that season, that 2001 season, Brady had pretty much has the same identical stats as Mac Jones. He looked sloppy. He didn't look like Tom Brady. Tom Brady didn't really become Tom Brady until he got Randy Moss in 2007. It's about progress. It's about nurturing a rookie quarterback into what he can become. He's not going to go out there like Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. One, because we don't have the weapons for him to be that way. We don't have the weapons.
A great movie.
And just like that, listen, we got our Troy Brown. You know what I'm saying? We got the same pieces, just different names. So I'm confident in Mac Jones.
I'm glad you're confident in Mac Jones. I'm confident in the acting skills of Denzel Washington. And Denzel Washington was a great actor in the movie Man on Fire. Remember that movie Man on Fire? There was a great scene where he's walking away from duty strapped up to the chair, and the guy was like, I need more time. I need more time. And Denzel said, I wish you had more time. Macaroni Jones does not have the time that Tom Brady had back in 2001 with a young, vibrant Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick, in a couple of years or 3 years, he might be out of the league. Mac Jones ain't going to have that. What, Josh McDaniels going to take over?
You guys both
I think we should hire Brian Flores.
I don't see the end of Belichick, though. You guys both think 3 years for Belichick. Why wouldn't he coach until he dies on the field? I don't see him hanging it up. Brady.
I don't know why everyone keeps saying that. Belichick, he's going to be 70 next year. But Don Shula coached for a long time too. So I don't know. I can't tell you the Belichick situation. He's not walking away until he breaks Don Shula's record, which is another 3-4 years from now. So that's why I don't even want to entertain the idea of him walking away.
How about this, Master? Where here's a question. And the next decade, 10 years from now, 2 questions rather. Does Bill Belichick win another championship with New England in the next 10 years? And if he does, is Mac Jones the quarterback?
I don't think he will coach for 10 years. I think he's going to win a Super Bowl this year with Mac Jones. And if we win a Super Bowl this year with Mac Jones, then I think he can retire. I don't care about Don Shula's record. We got 7 rings. He won one without Brady. I think as soon as he wins one with Mac Jones, I think he'll step away. But we have Mac Jones for the next 4 years with the rookie contract. So I give Belichick 3-4 years.
Who does Mac Jones beat in the AFC Championship, and who does he outgun in the NFC
Mahomes.
in the Super Bowl under this?
We're beating Mahomes in the AFC Championship game.
And how does that go down in your mind? How do they beat?
How does that go down?
Yeah.
Mahomes doesn't look the same to me. I think we've been saving Mac Jones for the playoffs. Everything that people think have this preconceived notion of the way he's been playing, that he doesn't have an arm. I think we've been just saving his arm for the playoffs, to be honest with you. I think Mac Jones goes out there this Saturday, throws for like 3 touchdowns over 300 yards. It completely torches that Buffalo defense.
What's going to change? What's going to change? Did y'all bring back Randy Moss?
No, we don't need Randy Moss. I think Kendrick Bourne's going to be the X factor.
Gronkowski's back? I didn't think so either. I don't see Hernandez. Like Hunter Henry, N'Keal Harry that got deactivated.
Yep.
Hey, man, you can say whatever you want, bro. That's the same team that beat y'all in Buffalo.
Y'all didn't beat us. Y'all know exactly.
You are pissing off Jeff King, Master at Work. He's looking. Mac Jones just got his ass beat by Tua.
Y'all lost to Jacksonville, bro. Y'all lost to Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence, who threw 2 touchdowns in a 10-game span. And by the way, I'm going to say it again. Josh Allen isn't even the best Josh Allen in the conference. The other Josh Allen from Jacksonville is the real Josh Allen. I might start calling Josh Allen Josh, just so we don't get him confused.
Master at Work, Dave thinks you're on PEDs. He thinks you're juicing coming into the show. He thinks you're juicing up for the Super Bowl.
Hey, I'm on the TB12. I'm on the TB12 diet.
There you go.
I thought you weren't a Brady guy anymore. What the hell, man? What's going on?
Hey, bro, he's doing something right.
Hey, off topic, real quick. The NFC or NCAA championship tonight. Who you boys got kicking off right now?
I got money on Alabama.
Yeah, so do I. I cannot believe they're underdogs in this game, but that to me feels trappy, and of course I bet it.
The kickoff is at 8 in 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, they're flipping the coin right now, but I figured I'd ask because everybody. You want to know what's weird? The NFL was so dominant this past weekend in the playoffs coming up. No one even cares about the national championship anymore. Like nobody gives a damn about college. It's crazy. I almost forgot it was on until earlier today. It's
imagine if if the NFL starts putting regular Saturday games every single week, how uninterested college football would be.
I think that they should find a way to do what they did during the pandemic and have games sprinkled throughout the week. I thought it was awesome. Q Trucker wants to know who your supplier is, by the way, Master at Work. He said you got the good
stuff.
Man.
Bro. It's that TB12, man. It's Alex Guerrero. Alex Guerrero is still my guy.
So you guys are both college guys. I presume you guys pay attention. You guys watch it all. How you guys feel about Dion poaching these high recruit cats to come to these smaller HBCU schools and competing with these big ass schools, right? Is this sustainable? It's a question for y'all I have because guys are going to these schools and saying, man, let me go back to these HBCUs, you know what I'm saying, to, you know what I mean, rival, I guess, if you will, and go to the league, not having the backing of Alabama or Michigan or whatever. How you guys feel about that?
One, I love it. Two, if the money keeps flowing in for Deion, he'll get whoever he wants. I think he's very relatable. He's unbelievable with players, and that's why he's bringing these guys in to begin with. But now, the ability to pay these guys on top of, listen, if I can get paid and go and say I'm playing for Deion Sanders, who's probably going to help me in a variety of different ways and perhaps another coach wouldn't, say I'm a guy who's a stud, but I'm not, I'm not the cream of the crop. If I go with Deion, am I going to get more specialized treatment than I would in Alabama where everybody is the top guy? That's what I'm wondering. Do you stand out a little bit more? I think it's very intriguing. But to me right now, college football is going down a slippery slope. It's very weird. It's way too top heavy. These SEC teams are going to have way more money to spend on these players and recruits to come in. These distinct institutions aren't going to spend money like Alabama's willing to because all they care about is football. Very odd times that we're in, man, with college football. I don't know where I see it heading, but it's all over the place in my opinion.
To me, there's not much difference, right? Weren't these bigger schools gaining these guys anyway? So
they've been paying them for years.
What's the difference?
The problem I have with it is Jackson State is not even eligible for the college football playoff if they go undefeated.
Right. I mean,
what's good of having all these star players if you're not even going to see them on television?
That's the point. It's crazy.
It's to bring back these athletes to these historically black colleges, because these your Jerry Rices of the world went to the HBCU. So like bring back these iconic players back to these HBCUs, and then, you know what I'm saying, and they can still make it. At the end of the day, the goal is to make it to the league. So if you give me an opportunity, Deion, to make it to the league, I'm coming to you, right? Eyes are going to be on Jackson State because Deion is there, right? So we'll see how that plays out. I just figured I wanted to get your thoughts on that. Are you guys bothered by it, or are you guys loving it? So
I think it's cool. I don't know if I'm the player. That's a huge gamble, man. That's a huge gamble. I mean, you if I had my life on the line like that for making the league, to choose a small school like Deion's coaching over a powerhouse, that's a huge gamble, man. So we'll see how it pans out. But listen, if it winds up working and he gets guys into the league, you'll see a hell of a lot more of it. If he can prove that it works, I think you'll see it.
Is he going to stick around to keep doing that? Because his two sons are on that squad. Once they get older and leave,
I think Deion's going to leave to go to a bigger college.
Somebody will give him a gig. I mean, they have to, right? You know. All right, hey, listen, we're an hour 10 in, and with that, I know the college game's on. A lot of people want to watch it. Before we wrap up here, I'm going to ask the question it's taken an hour and 10 to ask. Final score this Saturday night, Master at work, and that's it. That's it. Final score and why.
I'm gonna give you a Rocky quote: Patriots 35, Buffalo pain. Pain. Y'all are not winning this game, man. Listen, if the NFL, the conspiracy wise, is gonna be Brady and Belichick in the Super Bowl, y'all don't boost ratings like that. So just do y'all got a division, hang up the division banner, and just be done with it. Be like, we won back-to-back AFC East champions, but the Patriots are still our daddy.
I mean, a lot of people are talking about the real division. The title for the division is really this game coming up. Right?
Yeah, I know.
I won the division, but this is the real division. I mean, a big story would be Belichick, Brady. That would be cool. But I also like, you know what I'm saying, the Bills versus Tom Brady. That would be one of those things where that's the feather in the cap, win the Super Bowl over Tom Brady, if he even gets there in the first place. But that would be a just as big a story. Ain't nobody trying to see no damn Belichick Brady, man.
Could you imagine that? The Bills beating the Patriots in the playoffs and then beating Brady in the Super Bowl? I mean, you couldn't Disney script it, man. It'd be unreal. Script, Rico, your score before we sign off?
I think it's gonna be very similar to, I mean, the last time, man. It's gonna be like 35 to like 25 or something like that. I mean, they're gonna keep it close. They're gonna try to come back and try to make things happen. But Macaroni Jones Noodle Arm ain't gonna do shit, and is gonna say bye Patriots. Peace out. We'll see you next year.
Before I go, I just want to say one thing. Regardless of the outcome of Saturday's game, I want to come back. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to be, whenever show y'all have the post game, Rico, I know you do your post game. I want to be on that damn post game show, win or lose, even if for 2 minutes.
That's fair. That's fair. I got to tell you what, though, I can't wait to get you on here if it winds up being a W, especially if the Bills wind up pounding it. I can't wait.
He'll make his rounds. He'll say, "Yo, I'll come on the post game and then I'll come on the Monday night show." But you better do the rounds regardless.
You got to.
Okay. Well, yo, thank you. Appreciate you for having me on. Watch the AFC East Roundtable this week. It's going to be on Jets Media. I'm going to put out some crazy content for Bills. It's wartime. I'm going to do my trolling that I do on YouTube all week long.
Video. Give us a little bit of love on your video before you trash us hard, because I know your videos are fire. But give us a little bit of something.
Love that.
Wait, what do you want to give you a teaser?
No, not even. Just give us a little bit of a hype. Hype up the Bills in your video a little bit, and then you can trash us all you want. But at least build it up. Build it up.
Yeah. I'm gonna hype you guys up. All right. Like I said, man, just stay tuned this week on my channel, man. You guys are gonna be in for some entertainment this week.
I might even
and that little, I think it's Ralph Wilson statue that you guys have at the front of your stadium. If for some reason it has a Patriots flag over it, just know I'm the one who did it.
Yeah, you're a fool. You got Buffalo your minions to go do that for us.
Buffalo BD is tuning in. Orchard Park PD. He's the guy. He's the guy. Hey, master at work, you had me laughing my ass off all night. I appreciate you. And as much as it pains me to say, good luck to your boy Mac 10 and the Patriots this Saturday. I can't wait for it.
Okay, see you guys. Peace. Thanks.
Take care, dude, Rico, he is a freaking riot, man. Oh my God, he had me down. And the thing is, I can't tell if it's a shtick or if he's dead ass, but
he's dead ass. And here's the crazy thing: people give him such a hard time. Oh, he can't stand that. He's actually a funny cat. He's actually a good dude, smart dude. You know what I'm saying? And his job on editing these videos, man. Yeah, primo.
I was telling him. When I found him, it was during the quarantine. I was watching every NFL video on YouTube, just bore out of my mind. And I ran into one of his Super Bowl conspiracy videos. It had like 1 million views.
Crazy.
Yeah. And I watched it and I'm like, I wasn't buying it, but I was like, dude, it had me entertained as hell. I watched that whole thing. I loved it, man.
You got to give it to him. He's talented.
Listen, Rico, this Saturday, man, I can't believe it. I'm going to the game. I wish you could freaking. I wish you guys could come up, man.
I'm gonna do the pregame.
Yeah.
Will you be calling in if I can get a chance to get you?
Oh, 100%. I'll be there. And by the way,
will you be sauced?
I was just gonna say I will never be more sober in my life than I will be Saturday. I cannot have a buzz for that game. No,
you have to have a buzz.
I gotta be honest. I only like drinking heavy at Bills games when it's a game I know we're gonna. Like for instance, like I didn't go yesterday, but the Jets game's a perfect example of that. Like you're not that worried. You're there for fun. This stuff, like everybody always asks me like what I would do for the Super Bowl if the Bills made it. I would be 1,000% sober and I would be with my dad and that is it. And we would lock the door and wouldn't speak to a soul. And everybody's always like, you wouldn't go nuts. I'm like, dude, you don't understand, man. This isn't like some big party for me. This is like, I'm absolutely out of my mind insane. So
well, we're gonna be doing a pregame show. So you definitely will you'll have to call in and give us the the play-by-play on how the vibe is at the stadium, how cold it is it windy, is it not, all that fun stuff.
Dude, 10 degrees by the way. So when I do call in, if
what is that 10 degrees for me?
Can you believe that, man? Well, it's saying 15 during the day. I'm hearing 10 is the low at night, and then like 12-mile-an-hour winds. So Saturday, so it's gonna be like -15. All right, -17. Ooh, it's gonna be a chilly one. Oh, I forget you got the Celsius up there. On God, if you gave me $1 million cash and said convert Fahrenheit to Celsius right now, dude, I wouldn't get a buck out of you. I wouldn't get a cent. I don't know how the hell that shit works.
All is good, but yo, it's actually gonna be Saturday night. It's gonna be -15. The wind chill is gonna make it probably up to like -20. Ooh, that's gonna be nifty. Dude, that's gonna be nifty, man. And the winds aren't gonna be too crazy. So well, 10 kilometers. I mean, we deal with kilometers over here instead of miles. So
all I can say, man, I waited my whole life to walk into that stadium and see a playoff game. That place could be engulfed in flames for all I care. I'll be walking in. So we'll see what happens.
Well, listen, enjoy the freaking game, man.
I will, man.
Listen. And here's one thing I got to say this, man. I absolutely love the relationship you and your pops have. You guys go to these games, man. Yo, genuinely, I appreciate it, man. So that's always love. So when you call in, you better get your pops on the line. I want to see if you're not going to be sauced up, he better be sauced up.
Listen, somebody's going to drive. Well, you don't trust me to drive all the way out there with that traffic, but I appreciate that because one, I wouldn't be a fan without him. Two, it's awesome to I don't know anybody else who's got a dad that they do that with, Clay does, which is cool. I love that. That's why when we saw Clay, love that. But right now, like, dude, growing up with my dad and this team, like, we've never been able to enjoy literally anything. So the fact that I'm at the age now where, like, now I'm an adult and we can go and enjoy the success together, man, it is sweet. My all-time goal is when we win the Super Bowl and just me and him get on here and just pound liquor and just talk to people for 4 hours, just have the best time of our life. That's what I'm looking for.
How far are you from the end zone? Your seats?
Oh, I don't do seasons. I buy the tickets the week of. The reason I do that, it's infinitely cheaper. Like, really? I usually get tickets for less than $20 every single week.
What?
No matter what. Yeah. Because if you lock yourself in, one, I like sitting in different spots. So, like, for instance, last week at the Falcons game, we sat lower bowl right behind the end zone. But like the Patriots Monday night game, we sat in the rock pile. And then, like, for the other games where I go with my buddies and we're just looking to have a good time, I'll sit up top. I love that. I love switching it up. So one, I don't like locking in because I don't know how many games I can make. Two, I like sitting in different spots. And three, and I don't know why more people don't do this, but like if you wait till the day before or the day of, man, I mean,
you probably get sold out. This is what I think people worry about.
No, never, man. What happens is people are like, I want to sell these tickets so bad. They're basically giving them away for free. I mean, there are times where I have walked in there day of for like $3. And the crazy thing is, like, this weekend, and people don't even realize this, but like this weekend, and I'll buy these early, but like, if you can go, freaking go, man. You're never going to see a playoff ticket for like $70 anywhere else in the damn world. I'm not kidding you. Like,
I didn't think you could get tickets, especially playoff tickets. I didn't think you can get them that cheap.
You hop on right now, man. You can get a 300 level ticket right now for like $62.
So $62, that turns out to be about $75 to $80.
Well, after the Ticketmaster fees and stuff, I think it winds up being like $4,000. So you really gotta, yeah.
That's true. Well, the reason I was gonna ask you where you're sitting, because I saw I don't know, I think, was it the Bills game? It was the Bills game. Somebody ran onto the field and did a horrible job of like taking full advantage. Get your camera out.
The Jets game?
Put yourself running it. Anyway, I need you to once we win this game, get to the damn bottom of the freaking stadium. Your dad creates some kind of diversion. You get onto the field. I need to see your 40 speed, number one. I need to see how elusive you are. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you right now. It's going to be sick to see.
You know what I'm saying? And try to make yourself get to the end zone. Climb the field goals, the pole. Get up there.
How about this? And if it actually happens, this isn't incriminating. This is just a hypothetical. But how about it's Bills are up by 2, Patriots kicking a field goal to win. I run out there and absolutely deck the kicker and then disappear. They never find me. He breaks his leg, so they got to bring in the punter to kick it. He misses. Sure. Bills wind up going off to win the Super Bowl. And I come on here and I never bring it up. And then, like, when I'm on my deathbed, like 40, 50 years from now, I like bring my grandkid in and I whisper, "It was me. It was me. I broke the kicker's leg."
Legend.
Yeah. Legend. And then my eyes just close and the heart line goes flat, and that's the end of my story.
If I hear we got a streaker, and
oh my God, it's that dude from Buffalo Fanatics.
I'm gonna be like, "Yo, that's my boy."
Yeah, and
arrest him.
I'm on the live stream. Everybody's like, "There he is."
You be viral.
The problem is, I'm pretty sure that's a felony. Isn't it a felony?
Well, if you broke someone's leg, they definitely charge you for sure. You definitely go to jail. That's for sure.
BF legal team. Listen, I'll tell you what, we're not screwing around over here, so I know I'm in good hands. That's for sure.
Hey, there you have it, man. Well, listen, man. Thanks for having me on.
You kidding? Thanks for stopping. Hey, how was the chicken, by the way? Was it good?
Me and poultry. Me and my meats.
Well, I was going to say, don't limit the poultry. I saw that prime rib that you made the other day up on your gram. Oh,
you saw that?
Oh, I saw that. God,
Bam.
dude.
That's
that
one
was
thing
mad.
that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about my bills. I'm passionate about my family, and I'm passionate about my damn food.
What do you do with the red meat there? You put it in the oven or you smoke it up? Yeah. What do you do with it?
See, I don't have a smoker. That's one thing that
I know.
One of these days I will get one. But what I did, if you guys do prime ribs, man, crank that oven to 500 degrees, right? Season your prime rib real good. See, what I did was I made a compound butter and I smothered that thing with all the spices that I need with that compound butter. Then you throw that shit in the oven and let it sit for like what, depending on how heavy your prime rib is. Anyway, once you let it sit for five minutes a pound, then you let that shit sit. Turn the oven off and that's it. Sit for 2 hours. Chill. Let the aromas hit the kitchen. Yo, you got me talking about food, and I'm getting excited.
Well, it is the smoke break. We're not limited to just smoking topics here. We're smoking up some meats. Hey, by the way, before we leave, Johnny Boy here saying I will be at the game, my first ever playoff game. Same, John. I'm so pumped. You're so pumped. Let's keep it real. Next to KC, we are the worst draw for the Pats, and they know it. We'll close it out on there. We had enough tomfoolery from our boy Master at Work. Johnny said it perfectly. Hey, Rico, I'm taking you up on that pregame. I will call you at the stadium because we got to set the vibe. Listen, I can't even imagine what the vibe's going to be like. I can't wait. You enjoy the game. The rest of the Mafia enjoy the game. And next Monday night, hopefully, we are talking about that divisional round, baby.
Yes. But listen. Before you jump off here, great spot for you on Monday nights. This is your spot. I'm telling you.
Thank you. And I'm glad you brought that up because I've been meaning to say this, by the way. I want to shut the music off for a minute. Thank you, by the way. I appreciate it. Monday night's been great. But listen, when you're it's lonely at the top, boys and girls, all right? And my man Rico's at the top. Nobody gives him love because when you're at the top, nobody's giving you attaboys. They're competing with you. This man, and nobody says this man had Isaiah McKenzie on 3 days removed from his career day where there were national media pundits saying that man was the second best wide receiver on the football team. Rico had him on, and it was nothing but a thing, okay? And nobody's even talking about it to where Rico gets credit to where he deserves. So, listen, I just wanted to make sure that was known. That was insane. You're not going to get that anywhere else but here, and you're not going to get that from anybody else but you, man. So I wanted to reiterate that in front of everybody. That was epic stuff, bro. That was awesome.
Listen, the offseason is going to get even crazier. So your ass better be ready, man. We got an offseason.
I was born ready. Lit. I was born ready. Everybody in here was born ready too. That's for sure. I mean, everybody in here watched that damn thing. So. Hey, my pleasure. Man.
Monday nights are great for you, man. Keep the grind going, and it's only going to get better.
Always. And hey, I can never end the show without my man from Germany's outro. I love this. Me and my girlfriend got to just like play this and light a candle and see where the night takes us. You know what I'm saying?
I thought you were going to say something else. Me and my girlfriend play this all the time, and you know what I'm saying? And
listen, it's my theme song. When I walk into my girlfriend's house, when I go downstate, they play it in the house when I walk in. I do like a Randy Savage move when I come in. And all right, hey, that's enough BS. Go Bills. Get it done Saturday night. Peace.